Indra Otsutsuki, the eldest son of the Sage of Six Paths. From a young age, he was acknowledged as a prodigy, mastering ninjutsu at a level far beyond anyone else. However, Indra did not stop at inheriting his father's teachings. He created ninjutsu techniques that manipulate the natural elements. He was the one who laid the very first foundation for modern ninjutsu. Indra was also among the first to awaken the Sharingan. What made him exceptional, however, was that he did not need to experience tragedy to unlock the Mangekyo Sharingan. What drove the evolution of his eyes was pure hatred. With this ocular power, Indra could cast extremely powerful genjutsu, perform fire release techniques with pinpoint precision, and even achieve the complete form of Susanoo, a state typically seen only in those who possess the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. Not only was he a master of ocular powers, Indra was also a true innovator. He created the system of hand seals, the foundation of all ninjutsu. Clone technique, substitution jutsu, and even the very first kunai were results of Indra's ingenuity and refinement. When his father, Hagoromo, chose his younger brother Asura as his successor, Indra refused to accept it. He rose up, leading a rebellion that shattered the dream of peace envisioned by the Sage of Six Paths. From that moment on, the curse of hatred began marking the origin of the endless cycle of conflict between the Uchiha and Senju, between Madara and Hashirama, between Sasuke and Naruto. Indra was not only a pioneer in battle, but also the origin of tragedy, an Otsutsuki who sowed the seeds of centuries of bloodshed to come. Asura Otsutsuki was the progenitor of the bloodline that would become the Senju clan and the Uzumaki clan. In complete contrast to his genius elder brother Indra, Asura was born without exceptional talent, without special eyes, and without any innate gift for chakra. Yet, because of this, the path he walked, paved with sweat, tears, and unwavering determination, was all the more admirable. Throughout his journey, he was loved by friends, comrades, and the people, thanks to his pure heart, selflessness, and unyielding spirit. This was what convinced his father that Asura alone was worthy to inherit the ideals of ninjutsu not through strength, but through love and compassion. When Hagoromo bestowed his chakra upon him, Asura awakened the six-path sage mode, a state that elevated all chakra attributes to their highest level. He was able to use all 5 basic nature transformations, wield yin-yang release, and most notably, wood release. With it, Asura could manifest a massive avatar-like form similar to Susanoo, but instead of being born from hatred, it was built upon trust and collective spirit. Moreover, Asura was a pioneer in creating and teaching the use of hand seals, enabling others to harness their chakra nature. In combat, he excelled in taijutsu, skillfully wielding both a shakujo and a sword, capable of generating sharp wind blades with wind release or cloaking his body in chakra for defense, strong enough to withstand Indra's lightning release. However, Asura's greatest strength did not lie in techniques, but in philosophy. He believed that when people stood side by side, they could overcome any boundary. It was this very spirit that allowed him to defeat Indra. Asura represented the path of understanding, unity, and peace. His bloodline became the origin of figures such as Hashirama, Senju, and Naruto Uzumaki, symbols not only of strength, but also of forgiveness and togetherness. If Indra brought forth the curse of hatred, then Asura was the one who sowed the seed of hope. Kinshiki Otsutsuki was a pure-blooded member of the Otsutsuki clan, the embodiment of brute strength and absolute loyalty. From his very first appearance, Kinshiki proved he was no ordinary opponent. With his unique ability to convert chakra into massive weapons such as axes, spears, or halberds, Kinshiki could cut down entire forests and split mountains in an instant. His raw physical power was further enhanced by terrifying speed and the ability to perform space-time movement, making him a threat that no opponent could underestimate. Beyond sheer strength, Kinshiki also possessed the Byakugan eyes, granting 360-degree vision, the ability to perceive chakra flow, and complete awareness of the battlefield. This made him not only a colossal powerhouse in direct combat, but also a fighter with a strategic edge. In one encounter with Sasuke Uchiha in another dimension, Kinshiki was able to overpower a wielder of the Rinnegan, a feat that highlighted the vast gap in physical might. Even during the great battle against the coalition of the Kage, he maintained the upper hand, proving his body was among the top tier within the Otsutsuki clan. Yet what truly set Kinshiki apart was not his strength, but his loyalty. He regarded Momoshiki as his absolute master, addressing him with utmost respect, and without hesitation sacrificed his own body to be absorbed by him. However, Kinshiki's weakness was also clear. He relied too heavily on brute strength and speed, lacking cunning and adaptability. Against a strategist like Sasuke, a single well-placed strike was enough to break his horn, leaving him in humiliation until the moment he was consumed. Toneri Otsutsuki, the direct descendant of Hamura Otsutsuki, was one of the last surviving members of the Otsutsuki clan who lived in isolation on the moon. For centuries, Toneri carried the responsibility of guarding Hamura's legacy, the younger brother who once stood alongside Hagoromo. However, that very isolation twisted Toneri into an extremist, a man estranged from the ideals he was meant to preserve. The greatest turning point in his life came when Toneri transplanted the Byakugan of Hanabi Hyuga, an act that awakened within him the legendary Tenseigen, a dojutsu regarded as the evolution of the Byakugan, rivaling and even countering the Rinnegan. With the Tenseigen, Toneri reached a godlike level of chakra, gaining the ability to manipulate gravitational forces of attraction and repulsion, and distort space itself similar to the Deva path, but on a cosmic scale. He even shifted the moon toward the Earth, an act of global destruction. When activating the Tenseigen chakra mode, Toneri became a complete warrior. His speed soared, his physical strength and defenses reached their peak. In his battle against Naruto on the moon, he fought on par with Naruto in Nine-Tails Sage mode. He could generate massive green chakra blasts and summon a colossal golem with power rivaling that of the tailed beasts. Toneri also possessed 9 truth-seeking orbs, granting him access to all 5 basic nature transformations, along with yin-yang release. In this state, Toneri believed he could survive even if the moon collided with Earth, a confidence not born from arrogance, but from real power. Beyond ninjutsu, Toneri was also a master of chakra puppet manipulation. He commanded an entire army of autonomous puppets, capable of serving in daily life or battle, each powered by a central energy source. Moreover, Toneri could even control humans like puppets, implanting a chakra sphere inside a target's body and manipulating them through his will. After his defeat at Naruto's hands, Toneri did not die. He drifted through space, yet maintained a connection with Boruto through prophetic visions of the future, hinting that Toneri's destiny was far from over. Urashiki Otsutsuki was one of the most controversial members of the Otsutsuki clan. Unlike Kinshiki's stern demeanor or Momoshiki's absolute arrogance, Urashiki appeared casual, even playful. Yet beneath that facade lay a ruthless, cunning, and highly dangerous nature. Urashiki possessed the Byakugan along with 2 unique forms of the Rinnegan, a blue Rinnegan that allowed him to instantly teleport across different dimensions, and a red Rinnegan with a rare ability to rewind time by several seconds, enabling him to evade fatal attacks and counter flawlessly. This manipulation of space-time made Urashiki an unpredictable opponent, one who could narrowly escape defeat time and again. His signature weapon was a chakra fishing rod, a tool that enabled Urashiki to steal chakra from his opponents, seal it within a gourd, and use it at will. Thanks to this, he could wield the very chakra he had stolen to perform ninjutsu, even absorbing Sage mode from Mitsuki, turning himself into a true threat. He demonstrated the ability to use multiple nature transformations, lightning release, wind release, fire release, earth release, and even yin release, which allowed him to cast illusions and manipulate shadows. During Boruto's time slip arc, Urashiki faced off against a formidable lineup: Sasuke, Jiraiya, a young Naruto, and Boruto himself. He showcased highly adaptive combat skills, dodging the majority of their attack. Notably, in the final battle, Urashiki consumed his own eyes in an attempt to evolve, transforming into a grotesque form with explosive power. However, this evolution did not grant him any decisive advantage in the end. He was defeated by the familiar theme of the power of friendship that runs throughout the series. Hamura Otsutsuki, the twin brother of Hagoromo, was one of the foundational figures of the entire shinobi world. The 2 brothers were the sons of Kaguya Otsutsuki and Emperor Tenji, making them the first human hybrids to carry Otsutsuki blood. Born with an immense amount of chakra, Hamura quickly proved himself to be no less powerful than his brother, and together with Hagoromo, he wrote one of the most important chapters in ninja history. In the fateful battle, Hamura and Hagoromo confronted their own mother. At that time, Hamura's power rivaled that of the Sage of 6 Paths. He possessed pure Byakugan with near unlimited vision, mastered taijutsu to the point of overwhelming even Hagoromo in training matches, and most notably, awakened the Tenseigen, the evolution of the Byakugan, granting him control over gravity and divine power. In that battle, Hamura wielded both a sword and a shakujo, and together with Hagoromo, performed the 6 Paths Chibaku Tensei, the great sealing technique used to imprison Kaguya. Afterward, the 2 brothers divided their missions. Hagoromo remained on Earth to guide humanity, while Hamura led a branch of their descendants to the moon to guard their mother's seal. From then on, he became the spiritual leader of the Otsutsuki on the moon. Even after his death, Hamura's spirit continued to exist as a guardian, capable of granting chakra to his descendants. The clearest proof of this was when he bestowed his power upon Hinata Hyuga in the last Naruto the movie, enabling her to destroy the energy source containing the Tenseigan. This demonstrated that Hamura was not only a warrior, but also a teacher protecting Earth for centuries after his passing. Hamura's strength lay not only in the Tenseigan, but also in his ability to use six-path senjutsu, along with Truth-Seeking Ball's 9 orbs, combining all 5 basic nature transformations with yin-yang release. Through this, Hamura was capable of flight, instantaneous movement between Earth and the Moon, and wielding chakra on a divine scale. Hamura was not given much depiction in the manga or anime, but the very fact that he, alongside Hagoromo, defeated Kaguya is proof enough. He was one of the most powerful and influential figures in all of Otsutsuki history. Hagoromo Otsutsuki, the eldest son of Kaguya Otsutsuki and Emperor Tenji. From birth, he possessed immense chakra and the ability to wield yin-yang release, becoming the first person to truly comprehend the essence of chakra. For this reason, he was revered as the Sage of Six Paths, a god in the eyes of mankind. In the battle against Kaguya, when she fused with the God Tree to become the Ten-Tails, Hagoromo and his younger twin brother Hamura fought for many months. In the end, they succeeded in sealing Kaguya with the Six Paths Chibaku Tensei, and Hagoromo became the first Ten-Tails Jinchuriki. From that moment, his power reached a mythical level. Hagoromo awakened the Sharingan, then the Mangekyo Sharingan, and later evolved it into the Rinnegan. With this, he could manifest a complete body Susanoo, use the Six Paths powers, and perform massive outer path seals. In addition, Hagoromo mastered Senjutsu at Mount Myoboku, later developing it into Six Paths Senjutsu, granting him Truth-Seeking Balls and the divine weapon Nunoboko, a symbol of creation. Hagoromo's power surpassed that of any shinobi. He could uproot colossal trees, sense natural chakra, and even create life from nothingness. When he divided the chakra of the Ten-Tails, Hagoromo created the Nine-Tailed Beasts, giving them will and freedom, an act that reflected his profound ideal of peace. He was not only a warrior, but also a prophet and a leader. Hagoromo founded Ninshu, the predecessor of ninjutsu, hoping that mankind would share chakra to connect and heal one another. Unfortunately, after his death, this ideal was distorted, and Ninshu was turned into a tool for war. Hagoromo's greatest tragedy was not Kaguya, but his own family. His 2 sons, Indra and Asura, represented 2 divergent paths, power and love. Hagoromo chose Asura as his successor, believing that peace could only be achieved through unity. Yet this decision planted the seed of hatred within Indra, giving rise to the cycle of conflict that spanned generations from the Uchiha and Senju to Naruto and Sasuke. Even after his body perished, Hagoromo's chakra and consciousness endured. During the 4th Great Ninja War, he manifested once more to grant power to Naruto and Sasuke, saving the world from destruction yet again. Momoshiki Otsutsuki, one of the most dangerous and unforgettable members of the Otsutsuki clan to ever set foot on Earth. From the moment he appeared during the Chunin exams, he exuded an air of absolute arrogance, viewing humans as nothing more than insignificant insects. His cold, ruthless, and supremely haughty nature made Momoshiki the epitome of Otsutsuki pride. His most notable ability lay in the unique Rinnegan on the palms of his hands, which allowed him to absorb any ninjutsu and release it back with exponentially amplified power. This ability rendered even the most devastating attacks useless. After absorbing his companion, Kinshiki Otsutsuki, his power skyrocketed, and he manifested an additional Rinnegan on his forehead, bringing the total to 3. At that point, Momoshiki reached a level strong enough to directly challenge Naruto and Sasuke, the 2 strongest shinobi of that era. In the iconic battle shown in both the movie and manga, Momoshiki unleashed compressed chakra orbs with destructive power on par with tailed beast bombs, launched attacks at near untraceable speed, and demonstrated mastery over taijutsu, kenjutsu, and weapon combat. He could also manipulate his hair into weapons, wield a massive variant of the Rasengan, and command all 5 chakra natures. However, Momoshiki also revealed clear weaknesses. He relied too heavily on absorbing others' techniques, neglected his own training, and often acted recklessly, preferring to show off rather than fight strategically. Against opponents who excelled in close combat and physical prowess, he struggled to counter. In moments of desperation, he even displayed signs of fear and cowardice. What made Momoshiki truly stand out was not only his strength in life, but also the legacy he left after death. Even after being defeated by Naruto and Sasuke, he managed to engrave a karma mark onto Boruto Uzumaki. This transformed Boruto into his vessel, allowing Momoshiki to exist as a ticking time bomb within the boy's body. Throughout the story, we see him act as both a tormentor and a manipulative shadow, patiently waiting for the Otsutsuki data to fully overwrite Boruto's body so that he can resurrect completely. Kaguya Otsutsuki, worshipped by humans as the rabbit goddess, and known as the Mother of Chakra on Earth. Originally, she was merely a member of the Otsutsuki clan dispatched to plant the god tree and harvest its chakra fruit. In her early days on Earth, Kaguya was gentle and longed for peace. She fell in love with Emperor Tenji and bore two sons, Hagoromo and Hamura. But after betrayal and an attempt on her life, Kaguya lost faith in humanity. To end the wars, she consumed the chakra fruit, awakened the Rinne Sharingan, and from that moment attained godlike power. With such might, Kaguya cast the infinite Tsukuyomi, trapping all of humanity in an eternal dream and draining their life force. Those who were transformed became White Zetsu, an immortal army she prepared as a shield against the vengeance of the Otsutsuki clan. Kaguya's power was nearly immeasurable. She could teleport instantly and open portals to multiple dimensions, realms of ice, lava, extreme gravity, or acid, making the battlefield entirely her domain. Her very body was a weapon, wielding the Kekemora ability Shikotsumyaku, enabling her to manipulate her bones to pierce enemies and incinerate their bodies to ash instantly. The Rinne Sharingan on her forehead granted her mastery of illusions, absolute perception of chakra, and the ability to unleash destructive techniques far beyond any shinobi. She could regenerate her body, absorb ninjutsu through contact, read thoughts, wield all 5 nature transformations alongside yin-yang release, and even merge with nature itself to amplify her strength. Hagoromo himself admitted that even with Hamura's aid, it took them months to finally seal their mother. In the final battle of the Fourth Great Ninja War, Kaguya was only defeated through the combined efforts of Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, Kakashi, and Obito. Only this alliance was strong enough to seal the Mother of Chakra, bringing the war to an end and saving the shinobi world. Isshiki Otsutsuki once came to Earth alongside Kaguya to plant a god tree. However, he was betrayed by Kaguya and left on the verge of death. In his dying state, Isshiki parasitized the body of a monk named Jigen, implanting a karma seal and gradually taking over this vessel across centuries like an immortal parasite. Through Jigen, he established the organization Kara, seeking a more perfect vessel, his ultimate target being Kawaki. Isshiki's power far exceeded all standards. Even while confined to Jigen's fragile body, he effortlessly overwhelmed Naruto and Sasuke, the 2 strongest shinobi of the era. When unleashing his true form, Isshiki revealed unique eyes with divine abilities. Sukuna Hikona, the power to shrink himself or any object within his sight, instantly restoring them to full size at will. Daiko Kuten, the ability to store shrunken objects in a timeless dimension and summon them instantly during battle. With these abilities, Isshiki could unleash unpredictable counterattacks, drawing forth countless weapons, chakra-draining black rods, and even massive cubes that completely nullified his enemy's senses. Combined with the Byakugan's absolute field of vision, Isshiki left virtually no openings. In the final battle, he moved so fast that even Sasuke's Sharingan and Rinnegan could not keep up. His strikes were powerful enough to overwhelm Naruto, even while wielding Nine-Tails chakra. Despair only eased when Naruto sacrificed himself alongside Kurama, unlocking Baryon mode, a state that burned away lifespan in exchange for overwhelming power. Yet even Baryon mode did not truly defeat Isshiki. He still maintained dominance, only falling because his body was drained of vitality and he failed to seize Kawaki as his vessel. What was most terrifying was that if Isshiki had secured a perfect vessel from the beginning, no one in the shinobi world would have been able to stop him. Though he perished in despair, his existence left behind a brutal legacy, the karma seal on Kawaki, and the haunting memory of an enemy beyond every limit Naruto and Sasuke had ever faced. Shibai Otsutsuki. According to the scarce records in Boruto, Shibai lived for countless millennia, consuming an immeasurable number of chakra fruits from the god tree, and continuously reviving himself through the karma seal. After countless instances of cheating death, he transcended the physical body and evolved into a pure chakra entity, an immortal god, no longer bound by the limitations of flesh. Shibai's power reached a realm known as Shinjutsu divine techniques. This level surpasses ninjutsu, Kekkei Genkai, and even senjutsu. With a mere gesture, Shibai could summon storms. With a single word, he could call down lightning, and he could even counterattack automatically upon sensing killing intent. Yet his most terrifying ability was omnipotence, the power to turn subconscious desires into reality, altering memories, destiny, and even the very fabric of the world. We see this clearly in the legacy Shibai left behind. With just fragments of his DNA, Amado created Ida and Damon. Ada inherited the ability of omnipotence, allowing her to make any desire a reality, even rewriting fate itself between Kawaki and Boruto. Damon possessed flawless counterattacks, reflecting any killing intent back upon the attacker. These powers all serve as proof that their origins trace directly back to Shibai. Some records even suggest that Shibai possessed every major dojutsu, the Byakugan, the Rinnegan, and even the Senrigan, granting omniscient vision that transcends spatial boundaries. He required no hand seals, no rituals, just a simple movement was enough to change the entire course of battle. Most terrifying of all, Shibai does not seem to have truly disappeared. Though he no longer exists in a physical body, he may still persist as a divine entity, watching and influencing the shinobi world from afar. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos.